Hey everybody, this is Sean with Rugged Outdoors, and today I'm pretty excited because I get to review the 22 Ram 1500 Limited truck. Now, as some may know, I have a 2020 Ram 2500, but my best friend from college came down to visit us, and he had this brand new 2022 Ram 1500, and I'm like, dude, we totally got to review this thing because it's pretty slick. And we're going to talk about some of the differences and things that were different from 2021s versus what you see on the 22 model, which there are some differences. There's definitely some differences between the 2500 and the 1500 engine and stuff, but we've got some exciting features to talk about on this truck, so stay tuned. All right, so we're just gonna do a real quick walk around of the truck. As you can see, the styling hasn't really changed that much from the 2022 or from the 21 or even the 2019 for that matter. Now this is the Limited, and the Limited has a lot more bells and whistles than the other trucks do, like the Laramie or the Bighorn or the Tradesman. But overall, an absolutely beautiful truck. I still am a firm believer that Ram makes one of the best looking trucks out there. And for all that you get. So the Limited, you know, externally, there's some couple differences that I've noticed. You notice this little dimple here on the gas tank, you know, opens, and they've gotten rid of the gas cap, and now just this. And I have that same one like on the 2500 on my diesel, so it works the same kind of way. This one, he's got all the whiz bang features. You've got lots of cameras that help with it, which is, we'll show that feature here in a little bit. His came with the hitch and everything. So like I said, overall externally, styling is not that terribly different than the 2019s or even the 2020s. But one thing we're going to notice about this truck in particular is this has the Hemi eTorque engine, which has got some really slick features. And so we'll take a look at the inside of the engine compartment, which is definitely very different. So as I mentioned, one of the things that's different about this truck is this is an eTorque engine. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know that much about it, so we're gonna let Chad talk about this part, but let's take a look at this engine compartment. And it's like the old trucks of the days where you could actually like sit in the engine, you know, in the front of the truck and work on it. Not that we're gonna work on this truck, but take a look at the amount of space that is actually in the front of this truck. You know, which I promise you in other trucks I've had with the Hemis, you haven't had this much room. But here's the unique part. There's that eTorque. And so Chad, tell us a little about what you've heard, what that does.
All right, so a couple things to know about eTorque. So the base engine for the Ram 1500 this year is the 6-cylinder motor. Up from there, it's like around a $2,200 upgrade to go to a Hemi. Well, for the exact same price, for that same price upgrade, you can pick actually either the normal Hemi, or you can pick the eTorque Hemi. The block and everything else is pretty much the same. The engine specs are still the same for horsepower and torque. However, the eTorque system, when it's active, gives you an additional 130 foot-pounds of torque over the standard Hemi. The eTorque also enables the stop-start feature, how it, you know, the engine stops and starts at lights. It increases the fuel economy for the truck, and so far my observations are that this is true by about 10%. So for a no-cost option, I think especially if you do a lot more around town, stop and go driving, I think it's a worthwhile upgrade. Another big difference between this and the non-eTorque truck is the battery storage for the eTorque system is behind the second row in the cab.
So speaking of gas mileage, you drove up from Dallas, what did you end up getting?
About 20 miles to the gallon.
That was on the highway. That's pretty good.
Highway, yes.
That's actually really good for a truck,
yes.
Especially one with the Hemi and the V8. So that was pretty impressive.
And that was fairly. There was quite a bit of traffic between here and Dallas when I drove up. So I think it can actually. I think once it gets more broken in, I think it'll get even better.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a beautiful looking engine. I know, like for me, whenever I get a truck, I always look at the inside and then go, sweet, that's like the only time I'm ever going to look at it. So here's a good look at it for you guys that may care about all the engine stuff. I'm like, hey, you know what? It works, it drives, I'm good. Okay, let's close that sucker up. All right, so now I'm going to film the inside of the truck and some of the differences that I've seen as it relates, largely related to the computer and the display system. That's quite a bit different than I've seen in the 2020 and the 2021s. One of the cool features that they've added in this truck is the CarPlay or Android Auto. It's wireless. In my truck, which is again the 2020, it's not wireless. I'm not sure if they added that in the 21s or not, but I know for sure in the 22s it's a wireless CarPlay and has a wireless charger. Again, other trucks you may look at in the Ram series, they're all going to have different trim packages and different functions and different features that you can get, but this is how this truck is laid out. So let's take a look at how the display looks. So you can start here looking at home, and you can kind of see already that we've got a little bit of differences. So the wireless CarPlay is already configured, phone's in his pocket. You can see here that the CarPlay is already hooked up. Looks like he gets way more phone calls than I ever get. And doesn't answer most of them, so no big deal. It's usually whenever I'm calling. Anyway, but you also can see here, the display is different. Now, you do get to change the profile and the background, the wallpaper and stuff, but if you've ever seen a 2019 or a 2020, this display is quite a bit different. Now, this obviously is the big one. And you can go through pages, which is kind of slick, which we couldn't do before. So we're going to take a look at pages. You can add a page, look at the different layouts. So we don't have that. In my truck, again, the 2020, change layout 2. Here's a grid. Pick your widgets you want to add. Check that out. I mean, it's almost worth the $20,000 to upgrade trucks. Okay, maybe not really, but still really cool functions that you can add to this and add these different pages and make it really easy to navigate. And I remember when I first saw that they were coming out with these 12-inch screens, I was really skeptical. I'm like, okay, it's the last thing I need in a truck is for something to go wrong. I've had no problems with mine, which has been fantastic. So, actually, you could even set a page. It's always your, here, we're going to always take you to Gibson's or whoever, and it's just an automatic. Here, put that, and you're set and ready to go. There's going to Fullerton Estate, right? So then there, when you wanted to go, okay, great, that's where I want to go. I picked that. It's going to say navigating. Just going to think about it. Oh, we're probably not on a nav screen. Okay, well, we're already here, so it doesn't really matter, but that's a nice functionality that they added. So, like you can see here, the home, again, change the different screens that you want just by sliding over. Media, again, it comes with Sirius XM. I think it's like a 6-month? A year package, which is nice. And then after your subscription expires, if you don't renew it, Sirius bugs you like every 2 days with an email saying, hey, upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. No. Here you can go switch over to the CarPlay. Comfort settings, you can set up climate control. Here it is, the different settings. It's obviously off, we're not going anywhere. Nav, the display's a little bit different. CarPlay, one of the things that I have noticed that's different here is, notice CarPlay is the full screen. Again, on my 2020, it doesn't do that. CarPlay is only about half the screen versus this full screen, which I thought that's pretty slick. Option that they added. Again, you can hit the little button and you get a full screen of CarPlay versus just the smaller version like on the 2020. Vehicle option, that's a new menu option that's not on the 2020s. You can see the icons are a little different. Trailer, if it has the cameras, auxiliary camera, which would be way cool. It's like a camera you can add to the back. Your favorites, surround cam, all that. Power side step, look at all the vehicle cameras again. And it's off, you can't, we'll turn it on and get the settings, and here's all the different settings that you can change. Here's that thing we were talking about, you set the theme, and there's a variety of different themes you can pick for the truck. Quite a bit of new functions that we didn't have before, routing, how you can do nav setup. You have apps. This is the same content, just a different way of displaying it. So there's also the Eco score stuff, and you can change what buttons go up here on top of the screen. It shows it's a high score of 2 for Eco. Woohoo, we're doing so great. acceleration, your score should be improved. Deceleration, your score should be improved, right? So different ways to, I guess, coach you on how not to do stuff. So there's CarPlay got another message. So, you know, CarPlay again, I mean, it's a neat function of cars, and I'm super glad they've added it. I have no idea how the Android piece works. I'm not even going to try to review that one, but overall, fantastic inside. I think this is one of the biggest changes. Now on Limiteds, another change that you'll see is the way the cup holder stuff works. You have these little covers. On the Laramie and down, I don't think these are available. It's slightly different, but here on the Limited, I know another friend of mine has a 1-ton version of Limited, and those are different. He has those particular pieces on it. You know, we talked about the parking stuff, and here's how you turn that on, which is way slick. This is also lane sensing. You can turn on whether, hey, if you're crossing a lane or whatever, it'll autocorrect you, push you back. What we noticed about that was really whenever you changed lanes at a certain speeds. Now, we didn't figure out the math of what the speeds are, but it seems to be doing that just fine. The rest of the interior of the truck, again, is pretty much the same as other trucks in this series, whether it's the 1500 or the 2500 or the Laramie or the Limited. I think you have some nicer trim packages on the speaker covers. You can see there, this has the Harman Kardon one. But everything else on the interior of the truck is very similar to the Laramie from 2020 and 21. Again, because the Limited, it has different trim, you know, different stitching, different accessories pieces there. But overall, you know, a fantastic interior of a truck. And if you're going to get a truck, why not get a really good one? Here's another amazing feature of the Ram trucks is, so Buddy Chad sitting here crouching in the back seat with the seat up, right? So they both have this where the seats can come up like this, but just look at the sheer amount of room that's in this back seat of this truck. And so even if he puts the seat down, you know, you put the seats down and he's still, I mean, he can darn near stand up in this stupid thing. Now he's got, these have reclining seats in them. I mean, they recline. It's not like you're going to like get a great night's sleep, but you still have a ton of leg room. And how tall are you, Chad?
I am 5'11".
Yeah, so 5'11", it's still got enormous amount of room in the back seat. I sat in the front seat, so I know there's still plenty of room if someone taller, you know, 7 foot decided to sit in the back seat. You still have plenty of leg room for them. The back seat has, this one in particular has heated and air-conditioned seats, which is really slick. You've also got, you know, the controls back here for it. You know, this is one of my other favorites is you got a regular outlet in the back. You've got the USB charging, the USB-C charging options as well. I no idea why there's a pocket there, but there is. The seat styling is different on the Limiteds. You'll see this nice little fancy thread work. Okay, does it really change that much? No, but another cool feature of this particular truck is this bloody ginormous sunroof. It's almost, you know, if you're gonna have a convertible truck, this is probably about as close as you can get. It's huge. Okay, it's even got a piece here that can go all the way forward. Close it all up if you don't want to let the sun in. And really impressive interior of this truck. Here's just some of the nice features you've got. You know, the Limited does have different styling for the steering wheel and also for the tachometer and the speedometer section. Not a huge difference there. But, you know, again, I think, as you heard me say all the time, the Ram definitely has one of the best interiors of any trucks, period. All right, so now we're going to try the self-parking feature of this truck. So Chad over here is going to, he's our pilot, and we'll see how well the truck does that. So turn it on, and something changed. The engine revved or whatever.
It turned back on.
Oh, it came back on, yeah. So now you can see this active park sense searching. So I guess it's looking for parking spots.
But we're going to
press a button, and we're going to switch to parallel park, which you can do as well. And then here we go. So this should be interesting.
I think you want to turn
Oh, so it found a space. You can see right there, it says space found. So we're like, okay, great. Now I guess it's gonna...
It says keep moving forward.
Yep.
Keep moving forward.
Oh, stop and remove hands from wheels. Now we're gonna go reverse. There's this other car coming, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Oh, well, we're gonna let that car go by.
Yeah.
And it says move backward, so we're gonna, you can see here in the camera, he's not touching the wheel, and it's gonna back up into this space. And I'm just gonna tell you, if this actually works, I'm gonna have to go buy a new truck. Not sure I can afford it, but
Okay.
yeah. So it said, okay, shift to drive, and now because it didn't like that, again, we're not doing anything, and it's gonna.
Stop.
Good news is it doesn't do the automatic shift to park and reverse on its own. So it's okay. I'll just say it. This is bloody freaking cool. That this thing's backing up completely by itself, no inputs from us, and I guess it's done. So that's pretty doggone cool. And I'm just go back to camera view. And let me do the surround camera so you can see there. I mean, that's pretty. I know it's YouTube. I'm not supposed to say expletives, so I won't. But this is pretty doggone cool as to how it backs up. So that's impressive. So this next feature we're going to try is we're going to try the auto parallel park. So we've set up a kind of a fake deal. We've got one small car in the front, another small car in the back. There he is. So he's going to try to parallel park, or let the truck auto parallel park. My son's a little nervous. He's like, I don't trust him. He just got his Mini Cooper. So, all right, here we go. We're going to try the parallel park feature of the truck. So you got to scoot up to a certain spot. I think when the truck detects it. Should be hands-free, which it is. Truck is auto doing everything. You can tell Mr. Carr does not have his hands on it. He takes out my mailbox, that's $350, but oh, now it figured out that part. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I can shift gears.
So he shifted into forward and it automatically turns. There it goes. And there it parallel parked. So not bad. Not bad setup at all. Auto park, no hands. So, you know, overall, I think the 21, the 22, basic truck. So many cool features, so many cool upgrades. Worth the price tag? You know, if you got it, why not? You know, I think that the features and the extras that they come with really justify some of the price tag. Yes, trucks are expensive these days. You know, good luck. Good luck finding one. After I saw like the auto parking that you saw we did earlier in the video, I was like, I gotta see if they have a 3/4 ton version of this. Yeah, I can't find one anywhere in my area, so at least not that I'm willing to pay for. But overall, the limited truck, and even Ram period on their trucks, fantastic trucks, fantastic quality. I've had nothing but great experiences with them. I'm on my 4th or 5th Ram, upgraded for various reasons. Now for the 2500 because of pulling a big RV. My buddy Chad got his. This is his first truck. What a way to go on your very first truck. So beautiful truck, beautiful color. on this truck, and just a great feature set. And so I think, you know, for me, I definitely give this an A+, as I do most Ram trucks. Thanks again for watching. See ya.